Oh wait, hang on. Alright, now it's giving me the option to go live. Okay, wait. Okay, hello everybody. I hope you can now hear me. I see that some of you are already in chat, which is good. I've sent the link out to basically everywhere I could before the stream. That's why there was a slight delay, is what I always do. I always put out the link after I've set up the stream, and it just delays at the beginning of the stream. So I've basically skipped that part, essentially, and just gone straight to you guys, which I think is a lot better, and it makes the stream feel a lot more cohesive and streamlined. But let's see who we've got in the chat. We've got Nathan Mann, Zach Tyler, and those are the two that we've got so far. So be sure to leave a like on the stream if you enjoy what I have to say today. This is just a theory. I'm by no means saying that this is something that is definitely happening, but I just wanted to run you through what my thought process is for having this theory and what this theory actually is. So, obviously, as you know, Series 13 is coming out this year, and as you should all know, it's coming out later this year. Now, I don't know whether you guys noticed this, but last year, in the lead up to Series 12, we had basically Eclipse highlights of Doctor Who Series 11's episodes prior to the release of Series 12. Now, if you can see here is the clip lineup for Series 11 before Series 12 came out. We can see here that, it goes all the way up to Resolution. It does take a slight break between the main series and the special. And then once Resolution comes out, on the YouTube channel we get a Blu-ray, and then we get a highlights, and then we get the Series 12. Now, I don't know whether you guys have noticed this, but recently the BBC have been releasing clips from Series 12, and they're up to the Timeless Children now already. As you can see, I've disliked it because, God, that like to dislike ratio, that says a lot about people's divided opinion on the Timeless Child, I think. But as you can see, they've been uploading clips from Series 12 consistently over the past couple of weeks. So my working theory is that in the next couple of weeks we're going to get Revolution clips, followed by a couple of weeks later a Series 12 highlights, and then as we've already got the Blu-ray announcement in the form of the Season 8 Blu-ray as well. So we've already had the Blu-ray announcement. So my theory is that come after they'll have a Series 12 highlights, and then a couple of weeks later we will get the Series 13 rather, teaser. I don't think we'll get a full trailer, and I'll explain that why in a minute. But I do think we're in the lead up to Series 13 marketing. I don't think they're going to do a Twice Upon a Time. That's not what I mean. I don't think they're going to release a full-blown trailer now when we've still got a few good months to wait until the actual series comes out. What I do think they're doing, and this is again a working theory, I think they're going to do a slow marketing rollout for Series 12, building up Series... I keep saying Series 12. It's not Series 12, it's Series 13. As opposed to what we had last time around, which was basically radio silence, and then a couple of weeks before Series 12 came out, oh, by the way, it's a thing that exists. Because I think, if I remember correctly, the first thing we got about Series 12 came out in November, I want to say. I'll just double check that now. Come on, YouTube. Yeah, November 10th, which was 3 months before the actual series began airing, because the series began airing in January, so about 3 months, give or take, prior to the release of the thing. Now, we are currently in March, meaning that, here's the thing as well, we don't exactly know when Series 12 is airing. A lot of people saying October 2021 because of the Pumpkins in, the Sontaran episode with John Bishop. But I have a feeling that it may start airing a bit earlier than that, maybe late September, but I could be wrong there. But let's just assume for now it's October. So 3 months from now it'll be June. So that would still be quite a ways to go. However, as I said, I don't think we'll get a full trailer until 3 months before, but I think what they are going to do is they're going to be giving us little nuggets of information prior to that big Series 13 blowout trailer, which came out, I think, directly after this little mini teaser with the TARDIS flying about here. Oops. I don't want to play it. I don't want copyright. BBC, no, please. I have a family to support. I don't. That's not true. But if we go back to the page... Oh, I've got to scroll all the way down. I'll check what's in the chat whilst I'm doing that. Do you think we'll get comic relief sketch? Ah, yes. We are getting a comic relief sketch. Obviously, I don't know whether you guys saw this, but I put the footage from that up on the channel. I don't know whether there are any mods in chat, but if there are, then if you could please put that in the chat, or I can put it in the chat. If you haven't seen that already, then go check that out. It's literally just the footage that we have from the comic relief sketch. So yeah, I'll talk about that in a sec. That's the thing as well. The comic relief sketch is coming out this Friday. I don't actually think... I was going to just get the article about it up. I don't actually have... on the images, actually, it will probably be better. There's the images. I'm using Sisterhood of Khan's tweet because I couldn't be bothered to get up the... I've got them saved, I just couldn't get the images up in time. But as you can see, there is the one of the images from the comic relief sketch. Presumably, it's some sort of casualty crossover of some variety. I'll be sure to cover that on Friday when it releases on Comic Relief. But I don't think we'll get a trailer there or anything on Series 13 there, because Chibnall has stated in the past that he likes to keep Doctor Who's appearances at these things more focused on the charity as opposed to the show, which I understand. It's actually interesting that we are getting a sketch, because we haven't had a sketch in a very long while. I think the last one was probably for Series 10, I want to say, because there was that one where Peter Capaldi was calling up all the other celebrities, and he phoned up Eddie Redmayne on the set of Fantastic Beasts and stuff like that. And the ladies from Bake Off were doing the switchboard, and yeah, it was a whole thing. That's the last time I think Doctor Who's appeared in a comic relief sketch, if I'm correct, unless that's Children in Need. They all sort of blend together, to be honest. But I think that's the last one I remember. The one I remember most fondly is probably, again, I'm not sure whether this is Children in Need or what's it called, Red Nose Day, but I remember the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, selling off his costume for comic relief, and that's the one I remember most fondly, and that was literally just him showing off his costume, and I loved that. So I'll be interested to see what they do with this, like, whether it'll be good or not, we don't know, but like, it's for charity, so you know, you can't hate it too much. But yeah, the I don't think we'll get a trailer until at least, I'm gonna say, like, late summer. What I do think is, because we've already seen some footage from Series 13. If you remember at the end of Revolution of the Daleks, let me get the clip up actually. Dan, Doctor Who. Videos. There we go, right. Welcome to the TARDIS, introducing Dan. This came out at the end of Revolution, so we know that they're not opposed to showing Series 13 stuff this early on, because it's happened already. So I don't think it's that far-fetched to say that we may at least get like some little teasers spread throughout the rest of this year. And there's another reason, there's something else that's different between Series 12 and Series 13, which I may think makes the marketing approach for it slightly different. And that's that we're going from a count of 10 episodes to a count of only 8. Now, something I've thought about with Chibnall and the way he likes to market is that he likes to keep all his secrets very close to his chest. He likes to keep things under wraps. That's how he likes to do it. But what I've realised is, with 8 episodes, there can't be as many secrets as there would be in a full 10 episode run. Especially considering we seem to know already a good amount of the stuff going in. We know that Dan is the new companion. We know that the Weeping Angels and the Sontarans are coming back with a new design. The Autons may as well be coming back as well. So we know a lot about Series 13 prior to its release. So I think they're aware of that. I think they know that we know a lot about this series already. So I don't think, and they literally know that we've got Dan because they're the ones who posted that. So I don't think it's impossible to suspect that we may be getting more marketing due to the fact that there aren't as many secrets to spill. Like going into Series 12, yes, we knew the Jadum were in it, and yes, we knew we were probably going to get, I think maybe like Cybermen leaked. There was a set picture of some new Cybermen. Maybe that was about it. We didn't know anything about the Ruth Doctor or the Timeless Child. Well, like the Timeless Child leaked, I think, very close. I think as the episodes were airing, but like by that point, you know, the show was already on, so they kept that really under wraps. I think this time though, like they've sort of given us the big reveal. If there is another big reveal, then I'll happily be proven wrong. But I do hope the show doesn't become too reliant on big reveals. Because I think that was something that actually sort of hurt Series 12, particularly in the marketing department, was rather than focusing on marketing the individual episodes, it went, hey, only 2 episodes to the finale, and it's like, it kind of just makes all the other episodes feel like homework or busy work rather than actually being an event in themselves, which I think was a big downfall in the Series 12 marketing. I think wherever you sit on Series 12, I think most people can agree the marketing for it wasn't great. I think that's the one thing of, like, there's very few things that we as a fandom can agree on. I think that's safe to say, especially online. But I think the marketing for Series 12 was pretty much universally panned for, like, basically praising to the choir. You know, it was marketing to the people who were already engaged through the mediums of Twitter and stuff like that. Whereas comparatively, this Dan announcement came out on the main show. It was big news that night. We then got, obviously, the comic relief thing. So they seem to be making more of a concerted effort to be having Doctor Who be present in the minds of the general public, which is something that really needed to happen with Series 12. And I'm hoping that's a lesson they've learned from Series 12. Whether it is or not, we don't know, but I would hazard a guess that that's why we may be getting more marketing now, is because they went, yeah, the approach last year didn't really work as well as we'd hoped, let's try another way. With that said, at least in my mind, they seem to be following a very similar pattern. They're just going about it a bit quicker than perhaps they would have last time. Because let's face it, by the time the Series 12 marketing came out, we were all basically just like, finally, we're going to learn something. Because the other thing as well is that there's a much quicker turnaround between Series 12 and Series 13 as there was between Series 11 and Series 12. Those two came out within 2 years of each other. Series 11 coming out in 2018 and Series 12 coming in 2020. Whereas conversely, we had Revolution of the Daleks, which came out the first day of 2021, and we have Series 13, which is presumably coming about, as I said, around October of 2021. So it's a much shorter time period, and therefore a much less time to market, which might be why they are accelerating the process a little bit. Let me just check the chat, see what you guys are saying. Marketing for the New Year special was, yeah, it was pretty bad. I barely saw it marketed, to be honest. I don't know about any of you guys, but I barely saw anything for the Series 12 the Revolution of the Daleks marketing. I barely saw any. TARDIS Ollie says, while I personally liked the Timeless Child marketing, timeless child idea. As someone who works in marketing, it's not very good for your online representation or analytics if you had a sudden surge of dislikes as seen recently. Yeah, the timeless child thing, I think the reason I did the poll, I don't know whether you guys saw this, but I did a Twitter poll, basically asking people, as it currently stands, what are your opinions on the timeless child? And right now, actually, we can have a look. We'll have a look, shall we? As it currently stands, there are 2 days left, and this isn't its only purpose, but this is like, I'm just using it as an example. It's pretty much split directly down the middle. We've had 250 people vote already, which is kind of insane, but it's pretty much split 50-50. People aren't sure whether they like it or whether they, yeah, not that they're not sure, but I think there are strong reactions on both sides. And people ask me when I did this poll, why didn't you have an option for just the middle? Just down the middle, sort of okay, or not really bothered either way, or 50-50. The reason I did that is because I wanted those who were on the fence to, if they had to make a decision either way, which one would they do? So we sort of have the most fundamental one we could, where it's like either you like it or you dislike it, because obviously there's not a lot you can say about people who are in between. It's like, yeah, they're just in between, whereas with yes or no, it gives us a lot better representation of how I think the fandom is right now, because it is, like, as this shows, it's been bouncing back and forth all afternoon between yes being the higher answer to no being the higher answer. Currently, no is the higher answer barely, but it's very, very close. And that's been happening all afternoon. So I think the fan base is very split on the Timeless Child. And the reason I worded it as it currently stands is because we don't know what they are going to do with it in Series 13. We can assume that they're going to do something with it, but nothing is concrete. Especially with this era, it's I think we all thought that Series 12 was basically just going to be Series 11, but with a few more nostalgia bits thrown in. Whereas what it actually turned out to be was a sort of, a retread of the Cartman Master Plan in some aspects, which I don't think anyone expected. I don't think anyone expected the Morbius Doctors going into Series 12, so you really can't predict this era, even though I'm trying, and that's basically the entire point of this stream. But yeah, the Timeless Child is a very controversial idea, and it will be interesting to see how they handle that in Series 13, because they must be aware. I mean, as you said, Ollie, looking at the video here, the like to dislike ratio again is about 50-50. It's about it's a very close between the two extremes. It's one of those things. The other reason I put the Timeless Child thing is that I cannot speak today. The reason I put it as either yes or no is that I think everyone has rather extreme thoughts on the Timeless Child. I've never even. I mean, the Twitter poll did prove me wrong in some ways, because I did see quite a few people saying it's okay, but I always thought that, to me, you either loved it or you hated it. I thought it was more of a Marmite situation, and that's kind of reflected in stuff like this, where it's very down the middle. I think the worst part of the series 12 is it basically led me undergoing the Sherlock effect. Wait, what was that? I think the worst part of Series 12, it's basically led to me undergoing the Sherlock effect. What happened in that bad series led to me seeing all the holes in 11, a series I thought was good. Oh, that's interesting. That's actually an interesting perspective, because I don't have that perspective. As someone who wasn't a fan of Series 12, I saw Series 11 rather. I saw Series 12 as an improvement. So it was interesting to see that from someone else's perspective, that watching Series 12 actively kind of made Series 11 worse for somebody. That's quite interesting. Really loving this format, by the way. Thank you, Nathan, man. Nathan, man, that's quite funny. I appreciate that. It's just something that I thought I'd do because I've got a lot to talk about today, so I thought I'd put my little self in the corner and basically just talk to you guys about the things that I've been thinking about, because I'm a Doctor Who fan and I never really stop thinking about these things because I don't have a life. But, no, I'm just kidding. The BBC need to know shipping pictures of Yaz and the Doctor is not good marketing. Yeah, that's another interesting thing. Like, obviously, on International Women's Day, they posted a picture of Yaz and the Doctor, a brand new image of Yaz and the Doctor. I'm presuming it's newly released because the costume looks. If I can't find it now, I'll see if I can find the actual tweet. But the costume looks like the one from Orphan 55, so it must at least be something that was made post Series 12. Let me just go to the Doctor Who Twitter page. Doctor Who. Excuse my terrible typing ability, ladies and gentlemen. So, well, let's have a look here. Oh yeah, we also got the announcement. This also ties in to the Blu-ray sort of thing. We tend to get Blu-ray announcements in the midst of the run-up to a new series, trailer, news, bits. And we got the announcement of the Series 8 Blu-ray Steelbook, as well as the, I think it's the Season 8, the Blu-ray collection, the Jon Pertwee one. So, yeah, it would be running concurrently with what we've expected from previous marketing efforts by the current team. I think we're almost there now. There we go. Right. So this was the new image, and I assume that this is like the brand new, a brand new image based on obviously the Doctor's bluer jumper, which I think was first seen in Orphan 55, if I'm correct, and Yaz's outfit, which I don't believe we've seen properly. I could be wrong there, and there'll probably be a billion examples who are wearing this exact outfit. But I mean, I don't pay much attention to that. But I mean, if any of you guys know, feel free to let me know. But yeah, I think this is a new image, which would mean that this in some way counts as a form of Series 13 marketing, however small it may be, and obviously it's to do with International Women's Day as well. So that's interesting. And like, here's my thing, because I don't know if you guys saw this, but Let 13 Kiss Woman was trending the other day. Now, my thoughts about this is, while I totally agree with the sentiment that 13 should be allowed to kiss women, just as her male predecessors have done, I don't think it makes sense for this Doctor in particular, especially considering that she's probably, like, the least, like, she's in no way sexual, like, at all. Like, at least with, obviously 10, he was very, sort of a bit of a Casanova type, he was very, romantically entangled with various women across his time on the show, which I personally wasn't a big fan of. You have Nurse Redfern in Human H Family of Blood, you had Madame de Pompadour, obviously Rose Tyler, you had the whole unrequited love thing with Martha, so there was a lot of love going on in the Tennant era, so it made sense as to why he kissed. In 11's case, he was quite a bit more, he was quite a bit less active in that way than 10 was, but he still, obviously he had River Song, and I think there was a bit in Christmas Carol where he's with Marilyn Monroe as well, so it made sense why he did as well, whereas with 13, she hasn't, and obviously 12 as well. I think the only thing I can recall him kissing was, the only time I can recall him kissing was with Missy in Dark Water, and in that case it was more forced upon him than he actually wanted it. That's the only time I can remember him involved in anything like that. So yeah, it depends for me really on more, does it suit the character? And in 13's case, I don't, because like, here's the thing, I think Yaz is interested, but I don't think the Doctor should return those interests. I don't think the Doctor should feel those interests, even if Yaz does. I think they're going for more of a Clara type route, where it's like she has a thing for the Doctor, you know, like with Matt Smith. I don't mean with Pete Capaldi, I mean with Clara in Series 7, where it's like she likes the Doctor and the Doctor potentially likes her, but they never say it out loud. I think, or directly, and I think that's what we're doing there. Wait, what's TARDIS? Oh, I'll have a look here. I'm currently working on a BBC Amazon co-production, and I'm seeing firsthand just how sick the BBC is. All they care about is they honestly have an obsession with it. Yeah, it's fair enough. I don't know how to respond to that. The Master is more complicated than Series 12 made him out to be, in my opinion. Yeah, a lot of people took issue with the fact that they don't mention the Missy thing. I personally didn't mind that too much, because you can just sort of explain that away with, the fact that he saw the Matrix and what was going on in the Matrix, therefore he destroyed Gallifrey and went back to his evil ways. I think you can quite easily, there's quite an easy workaround for that. I'm up for seeing how the timeless child theory is concluded before I put my final judgment in. That's fair. A lot of people say that, and that's absolutely fair enough. I'm just interested to see how people feel about it currently, which was the reason for that poll. See what else you guys are saying. Hello, Jake Ty, how are you? So yeah, like, that's basically my entire, theory behind the idea of, Series 13 marketing, coming soon. Obviously we've got comic relief, we've had images already, we are, obviously the Doctor Who YouTube channel is uploading Series 12 clips, which they did with Series 11 in the build-up to Series 12's marketing push, so I think a very similar thing could happen there. It'd be interesting to see, actually, I was thinking about this as well, obviously with the Series 13 trailer, whether they do what they did, if I scroll back down, whether they do what they did with, what's her face, Series 12's marketing, if I scroll down quickly enough, if I just... this is the thing that annoys me. I'll get to a specific part of the Doctor Who page, and it'll just speed me back up as soon as I leave one video. It's very annoying. I think we're almost there now, I think. Series 8. It's like going back in time when you look through these clips, because you can see the marketing push for each individual series. But if we look, Series 9, Series 10, and even in Series 11's case, while it wasn't as much because there was quite a big gap, but we did also get, after Series 10 came out, keep scrolling, we're almost there. After Series 10 came out, we did get a series of Series 10 clips, and then, which eventually, a few weeks later, we got the Series 11 trailer. So it'll be interesting to see whether that pulls through again this time. I mean, if past marketing is anything to go by, I think it will. I don't think they're going to pull one of these, though, and do it so it's comes out in July for Christmas. I just can't see that. But having said that, again, there's a shorter gap already between now and Series 13 than there was between July and Christmas, I think, or about the same. And obviously we haven't had anything of Series 13 yet. So, like, little by little now, I think we'll be seeing little bits of Series 13 as time progresses. If we have a look here, I think I just missed the Series 10 clips. So yeah, here's the Series 10 clips. You got Empress of Mars there, Thin Ice, Mark Gatiss, the video diary for Twice Upon a Time, stuff like that. Bunch of different stuff about Series 10, and then eventually, after a few weeks of recycling old clips, we get the Series 11 teaser, which is very similar to the Series 12 teaser, and then another teaser. There were a lot of teasers for Series 11, man. Like, it was ridiculous. And Series 12 followed a similar path, so I think it's not impossible to assume that we may be getting a similar thing with Series 13. Either that, or this could just be completely wrong, and they could just be uploading Series 12 clips because it's just come out, and maybe they'll do it again once we're closer to marketing. But it all just seems a bit coincidental that we've got, if you see again, the Series 11 clips, then we get a Blu-ray announcement, which we had in the form of the Season 8 Blu-ray John Pertwee, as well as the Series 8 Peter Capaldi Steelbook. So, and then I think the next thing that we'll get after Revolution of the Daleks will be a Series 12 highlights, which will be followed a week later by a Series 12 little graphic-y effect. I don't think we'll get one of these then, but I do think we'll get little bits. I want to ask you guys, actually, do you think we will get anything at Children in Need or not? Not Children in Need. I keep getting them wrong. Comic Relief. Do you think we'll get anything at Comic Relief or not? XD Gamer, I will scream at the BBC if they release it at Christmas. I don't think they will, seeing as people have pointed out, in the Series 13 leaked images, pumpkins can be seen, which would imply a sort of October release date. Master being the timeless child will be quite predictable now. I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they'll go as far as to do that, because I think any backpedal with the timeless child now will feel more jarring than just letting it run its course. I think a lot of people are asking for a retcon, and while I see why, I think that would almost feel worse in a way than just, oh, by the way, we've gone completely back to where we were. You know, it would just feel, I think, very, what's the word I'm looking for? It would just feel a bit like an about turn, I suppose. It would just feel a bit desperate and a bit ill thought out. I just want the Weeping Angels to be done well, and them to address the class plot hole with at least a sentence. I don't think you'll get a class reference, seeing as we didn't even get a Missy reference in Series 12. Obviously, it'd be nice if they at least mentioned it, because we never actually know what happened to those Weeping Angels at the end of class. Not that I was too interested, because I wasn't a big fan of class personally. But I don't think, unfortunately, we'll get any reference to anything like that. I think the best you can hope for is maybe a Blink reference, because this era just seems to be obsessed with the RTD era for sure. But now the pumpkins are for the castaway. They might do a mini-sode. I'm guessing that hospital footage with the cast is some sort of... Can I say that word now? Is YouTube allowing that word to be said? Oh, I'll do it. Hopefully I don't get taken down. COVID mini-sode. Maybe. I think it will be something to do with Casualty as well, but we'll have to wait and see on that. I hope they reference class in Lonely Assassins, which I'm more hyped for than Series 13. I'll be honest, and this will dash any hopes I would have of a sponsorship from them, but I really don't care about Lonely Assassins. I see so many people hyping it up and getting sponsorships and stuff, and I'm like, it's just a mobile game, you know? I don't know what the hype is. Mobile games are just a bit naff. Am I the only one who just isn't that excited for Lonely Assassins. It feels like everyone else is talking about it, and I'm just like, I don't really care that much. I am looking forward to Edge of Reality. That I'm looking forward to, because we haven't had a proper Doctor Who console game since, I want to say, the Eternity Clock, which was a while ago. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Hot take, lol. I'm just excited for a new app game that's not a puzzle match one. That's fair, because I think they really ran the puzzle match thing into the ground. I think it was Doctor Who Legacy, which I quite enjoyed personally because of all the references. And then with then a couple years later we got Doctor Who Infinity, which then we got Doctor Who Infinity, which came out like while Series 11 was airing, and it was like a Missy story. That was really weird. It felt like it was developed like 2 years too late, because it just felt so old compared to everything else that was coming out. So that was strange, but yeah. So I'm glad in a way that they are doing a game that's not a puzzle matcher, but at the same time I'm much more excited for Edge of Reality than I am Lonely Assassins. I'll still give Lonely Assassins a try, but I'm just not that, because it's a mobile game. It's not, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what story they tell with it, and I appreciate the effort on the part of, I believe Maze Theory are doing both games to like make the mobile game seem like a big event and getting all these other YouTubers involved in marketing the thing. I think that's a really good strategy. But what was I going to say? I'll start a sentence and then I'll just forget where my sentence was going halfway through. It's really not fun. Yeah, so I hope we get... I'm looking more forward to the Edge of Reality game. I could have done without the 10th Doctor cameo, to be fair. I feel like the 10th Doctor's just being plastered all over everything. Although, I'm glad you did mention Build-A-Bears for Starlink, because we finally got some 11th Doctor representation. If I look it up, Doctor Who Build-A-Bear images. Yeah, so they announced recently a 10 and 11 one, which, I mean, of course they're going to release a new 10 one, but 11! We finally got some 11 representation. It wasn't quite in the way I hoped. I hoped maybe, potentially, I don't know, because since they got Christopher Eccleston back, I really wanted to get Matt Smith to do some Big Finish. Especially because I feel like towards the end of his run, he kind of got tainted by Moffat's overly sexualized, whatever that was, writing. So I really want Big Finish to get their hands on him and basically do him really well. Obviously, no disrespect to Jacob Dedman, I've heard some of his stuff, and that's really good. But I just kind of want the genuine article, doing Big Finish. I think that would just be nice. Seeing as he is my favourite, I'd really like to see some 11 stuff. And, something that just isn't the RTD era, because I do feel like that's getting a lot of the focus recently, even in the main show. So it's nice to get here some Moffat representation. And actually, that does segue me into something I was talking about the other day on Twitter, which I'll bring up as well. Build-A-Bear is now canon, yeah. I can only think of the 5 Who Fans video on that now, lol. Just remembered that died ages ago. Oh, I missed the 5 Who Fans, man. They should come back. I would be down for a 5 Who Fans revival. Totally. But I mean, at the same time, I can't see them doing videos on Series 12. It just feels wrong. Because I think so much of what like their channel was like like Moffat era. It just felt very Moffat era. So it'll be weird. It would be weird seeing that translated into, because obviously they did do Series 11 stuff, but it wasn't as much, and it wasn't like as sketchy. It was more just them doing their episode reviews, and that was like just before they ended as well. So Yeah, what was the thing I was going to talk about? Yeah, I remember now. This is all over the place. I think this is probably one of my best streams, ironically, despite it still being a schizophrenic mess. Where is it? Oh yeah, you got my Candyman impression there. Oh yeah, there's the tweet about Edge Reality. If we keep scrolling down, almost there. Oh yeah, Mark Gatiss. That's another thing as well. Mark Gatiss is it Gatiss or Gatiss? I don't know. I've heard people say both, and I'm not 100% sure which one it is. But he's expressed interest in coming back. I'd actually be down for it. You know what? A lot of people give Mark Gatiss a lot of shtick, but I actually think there are very few episodes of his that I don't enjoy on some level. Let's just have a look, see what he's written. Doctor Who, Mark Gatiss. Episodes. Alright, so he's done The Unquiet Dead, which I think is pretty good. Idiot's Lantern, which I actually think is underrated. Same goes for Victory of the Daleks. I think Victory of the Daleks gets a lot of stuff, a lot of negative stuff, because of the fact that it had to set up the paradigm. I think that's why it gets a lot of negative press, was because of the fact that it's so closely tied to those designs. I think if it weren't for that, I think Victory of the Daleks would have been held in a bit higher regard. I don't think it would have been seen as on the same level as, say, some of the classic Doctor Who Dalek stories, or even like the RTD ones. But I do think it certainly would be seen, it would be better regarded than it is currently. Night Terrors, I quite like. Again, I think it's quite underrated. I think it's quite creepy. I think it's quite atmospheric. I like the idea of a kid basically coming up with this own sort of like imaginary world that's like, you know, keeping him up at night inside his like cupboard, I think it is. I think that's really cool. I think Cold War is an effective reintroduction for the Ice Warriors. I don't think it's the best episode in the world, but I do think it reintroduces them fairly well. Again, Crimson Horror, even though it's got that really dodgy scene where the 11th Doctor kisses Jenny, I think the idea of a town that keeps you sort of frozen in like little glass ornament things, that was really cool. I liked that the Doctor was kind of absent from it the majority of the time, and we sort of have a flashback to how this came about. I thought that was really good. You know, the only thing, as I said, I could have done without was that scene and probably the Paternoster gang. But, you know, they were a Moffat invention, so. Robot Sherwood, I'm not a big fan of Robot Sherwood, to be fair. It's just kind of... It just feels a bit naff, I don't know. Like, the whole Robin Hood thing just feels a bit... I don't know, I'm not a big fan of Robot Sherwood. I also don't like how the Doctor and, like, Robin Hood, like, are basically having a, you know, a dick measuring contest where it's like, I actually could get out of here quicker than you. No, you couldn't actually, Robin Hood. I'm the Doctor. I hate that. Then what else does he do? Let me have a look. I'm not going to go into the Wikipedia because I can't be bothered. And Sleep No More I'm not a big fan of. But I would say, for me, that's a fairly good hit-to-miss ratio, so I wouldn't mind him coming back. Plus, Adventure in Space and Time is fantastic. So I would really, if he could channel that into the main show, I think he'd have a great episode. But, yeah, that was something that came out. Most of Gattis's written work is pretty good, but the acting is bad. I don't mind his acting too much, to be fair. I mean, I would prefer him, I do agree with you that I would prefer him to return in the capacity of a writer. But I don't think it's that bad. I do quite like him as the General in Twice Upon a Time. I think that's actually one of the few redeeming factors of Twice Upon a Time, is him as the Brigadier's granddad or whatever it was, or uncle or whatever. He also did Empress of Mars, yeah, which I don't like as much, as Cold War. I think Cold War is the stronger of the two, but I do appreciate the inventiveness of like a British colony on Mars. I think that's just quite cool. Sort of off topic, but did anyone see Gattis' documentary on Dracula? I haven't. Maybe I should check that out. I've got a backlog so big it's unbelievable. I still need to get around to It's a Sin. When that guy transformed into wood, that was a bit far. Which one's that? Is that Sleep No More, or Night Terrors? I can't remember which one that is. Lazarus Experiment is really good. I think that's the weakest of Series 3 for me, or one of the weakest. I think there's multiple things that I appreciate it as a setup for the thing that the Master's laser screwdriver can do, where it does the whole de-aging or aging up thing. But outside of that, I mean, I think Human Nature and Family of Blood is a much better setup episode for finale stuff, because it introduces the idea of the Time Lord Fob Watch thing. Introduces the idea of this, basically the Fob Watch in Human Nature, and that obviously pays off in a big way in Utopia, where we see that Professor Yana has one, and it's revealed to be the Master. I think that's a much better setup than Lazarus Experiment, which just basically exists to set up the de-aging technology. Outside of that, it's pretty naff. I do like Martha's family in it, but that's about all I can really say about that one. It's just not a lot really happens in it. You just sort of get to this party. The Professor Lazarus shows off his experiment. It goes wrong. The Doctor stops him. The end. And obviously that's most Doctor episodes, but it just feels very uneventful outside of, again, just setting up that one thing. But fair enough if you like it. I used to have a fob watch toy. I wish I had one of those fob watches, because they do look pretty cool, but I don't. But I wish I did. What was the other thing I was going to show you guys on Twitter? There was another thing. That was just a joke. Where is it? Come on. Come on. Here, Tweety, 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 Tweety. Almost there now. Oh! That was another thing as well that I forgot to mention. So, Doctor Who, I don't know if you saw this, but I spoke about it briefly on Mr. TARDIS' stream. Doctor Who won a Radio Times Award, and given what it was up against, I don't think it deserved to win. If I duplicate my tab here a sec, I can go and find that. Come on, come on, come on. Any second now, we'll find that. Come on. Any minute now. Have I scrolled past it? Oh no, it would have been before the streams, that makes sense. I must have gone past it now. Oh, right, I'll just find it on the Radio Times too. I'm terrible at this. Radio Times. Doctor Who. Oh god, that's a bit of a broad search, isn't it? Oh. I'll just see if I can scroll down on their Twitter account, it might be easier. Torchwood. Actually, if anyone could just send me, that might be easier. Where is it? There's the Mark Gatiss tweet, so it must be just before that. Oh, it might be around here. You voted. Here is the full list of winners. Here we go. Right. Okay. Whew, we made it. Right, okay. So, best Doctor Who won Best Sci-Fi Fantasy. And there was this little video, which I hope you can hear, of them basically saying, "Oh, thank you for the award." Sorry, forgive my terrible accent. Which we can, I hopefully play now. Radio Times, please don't sue. Oh no, we've got ads. I don't cannot stop this. Right, here we go.
We just want to say thank you so much to all our fans and to everybody who voted and everyone at Radio Times. We're absolutely delighted. This is brilliant. Thank you, thank you. Mwah.
Right, there you go. There's the little thing of them saying thank you for the victory of Best Sci-Fi Fantasy. And it was up against quite stiff competition. Competition which I would argue sort of deserved to win more. And I got a lot of crap for saying that, but so the other contenders off the top of my head, Mandalorian, The Boys, Haunting of Bly Manor, there were more as well. His Dark Materials, and I think that was about it. And personally, I don't think it should have won. I would have personally given it to The Boys. I think The Boys for me was the strongest out of that category. Bearing in mind I had only seen a few episodes of The Mandalorian, all of The Boys, Doctor Who, and that was about it. But The Boys for me was the one that should have won. Here's the thing. I think a lot of people say that when you say that Doctor Who didn't deserve to win, they think that you hate Doctor Who, and that's not what we're trying to say. We're just saying that you can love Doctor Who while acknowledging that you thought other shows deserved to win more. And that was where I was coming from with it. It's like, fair enough that Doctor Who won. I'm not trying to take that away from it. And I'm not trying to take it away from any Doctor Who fans who voted for Doctor Who. But I just think from my perspective, there were shows that deserve the win more. I hope they don't ruin the next Doctor. I hope they don't ruin who the next Doctor is in the middle of its Endgame. Yeah, that was always weird. I never understood why... how big realistically is the overlap for Doctor Who's audience and tennis? I mean, maybe there is, but... Oh god, XD Gamer, I've just seen that. Oh god, I don't know whether I can show that on the chat. I might get taken down for that. Oh well. Doctor Who needs to have a good writer. I agree. That's why I'd like to see Mark Gatiss back, because I think or Gatiss, I don't know which one. But I think he'd be good. But, you know. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much we get on Comic Relief, whether we get anything at all. But it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, Last of Us won Game of the Year last year, didn't it? 2020, which when I would have probably given it, even though I'm not a big Animal Crossing fan, if you want to talk about the one that got the most impact, I'd have given it to Animal Crossing. Because everyone was talking about Animal Crossing for a good few weeks when that came out. So I'd have given it to that. But, yeah, let's see what else there was. There's a couple of things I wanted to talk about today. Obviously, we had the Autons thing. I showed that in a video. Whether it's real or not, I don't know. But we're going to see at some point. Obviously, I had a video come out the other day talking about some concerns about Series 13. And the thing about those concerns is that I acknowledge that classic stuff can be done well, but I just get the feeling it's not gonna be used to service the new characters. It's just gonna be, hey, look, here is old thing. Whereas, say for example, something like when Sarah Jane came back in School Reunion, she obviously was used to reflect the current story with, you know, that line about Mickey being the tin dog. Whereas with, say for example, Captain Jack in Fugitive of the Jadoon, he's basically just there to be a bit of nostalgia, and I get the feeling that's what they're going to do again with Series 12, which personally I would find disappointing, but yeah, that's one of my major concerns for that. What else was there? There was a couple other things I wanted to go through, and I just can't remember what they were. So that's fun. Yeah, that was the tweet about Let 13 Kiss Women, which was trending. Yeah, someone had a go at me for spoiling Earthshock, even though it's 38 years old. Oh yeah, that was another thing I wanted to talk about. I actually really like Series 7B thematically. I like the theme of death that it has. I think it's the best executed version of that concept, and a lot of people make fun of me for that, but personally I really enjoy how he basically starts off the series in the Snowmen basically back where he was in An Unearthly Child, where he's secluded and alone on Earth, and through meeting a new companion he learns to sort of soften again and see the wonder in the universe again. I really liked that, and I liked how it ended. It was kind of cyclical. It ended with him in Time of the Doctor sort of aging back into William Hartnell because he's got like the hair and the older makeup and stuff. I just thought it was really well executed, and I thought if Doctor Who could have ended anywhere, I'd have probably ended it with Time of the Doctor, personally. But from now on, you will not see defense drones at work. I am the good Prime Minister, and I will die in the next 10 minutes. Wow, I didn't know we had the Prime Minister here. His Dark Materials is great as well. Yeah, I haven't seen it. So many people tell me to see so many different things, and I mean, I could say follow me on Twitter and Zinkill, but I don't want to sound like a beg, but you could follow me on Twitter if you don't. But yeah, I want to ask you guys, obviously bringing it back around to what this stream is initially about, do you think we're going to be getting some more stuff about Series 13? When do you think we'll get a trailer? I want to ask you guys what you think. I personally think we'll get a proper trailer around July, maybe August, but we'll be getting little bits throughout that time to build up to that. That's what I think, but I want to know what you guys have to say on that. Because as I said, you look here, you get Series 11, you get a couple of weeks, and then you get the highlights, and then boom, Series 12. So, and I think a very similar thing could happen again, but it'll be interesting to see whether they do that or not. My budget is £2.50. Yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see, because, like, personally, I think that we are going to be getting more marketing than they did with Series 12, because it's already started, you know, the rollout of Dan in for Evolution, as well as the pictures for, like, International Women's Day, and the comic relief appearance. They're already ramping up marketing already, way more than they did for Series 12. If memory serves, what did they do for Children in Need 2019? Does anyone remember? Because I know that the one that just came by was the one where it was just like, hey, we're here at Children in Need and you can enter our competition, phone the number. Does anyone remember what happened the year before that? Was it the one with the girl, or was that 2018? I can't remember. hang on. Doctor Who. Children in Need 2019. Okay, that was the one with the kid. So, yeah, like, I think... so, yeah, obviously that wasn't to do with the actual series, but obviously I understand why it was done like that. But, yeah, they seem to be, like, just throwing everything at Series 13 a bit more than they did for Series 12. Oh, that's a good shout. Yeah, you might be right, actually. 2018, I think. Was that 2018, though, I think? That's when that was. Yeah, no, that was 2018, I think. Doctor Who, Children in Need, 2018. Yeah, I think it was that kid on the TARDIS and Kablam was what we got in 2018. So, but obviously the fact that it's shown up for comic relief in a big way kind of shows that they're doing more with it in that way, because I don't think we had a sketch in comic relief last year. Hang on. Comic relief. Doctor Who. Comic relief. 2020. Oh yeah, we got, so last year we got all the doctors saying how like happy comic relief and stuff, which I quite liked, but obviously that wasn't anything too big. 2019 we got what was this? I'm probably gonna get claimed for this. BBC, please don't. Please. What was that?
Oh, there you are. Hello to everyone watching Comic Relief in the UK and on the planet Quicksar Pantagorus. You know Earth's not the only planet to have comic relief, right?
Just tell me what it is.
I just wanted to let you know. If you're donating on Earth,
I think it is,
and you're a UK taxpayer, please say yes when asked.
Right, yeah, it's just the thing. Okay. So that was their appearance in the 19 one. So they haven't done a sketch. When was the last time? Does anyone know when the last Doctor Who comic relief sketch was? Can anyone tell me? Because the last one I remember is the one with like Eddie Redmayne and Peter Capaldi, and they're like the BBC switchboard, and there's all the different numbers, and they phone the TARDIS. That's the last one I remember. But if there's one after that, then let me know. Hello, Lone Cyberman. How are you doing? But yeah, no. So the fact that they're doing a full-on sketch kind of shows that they're doing a bit more marketing, which I quite like. Let me just check the... I just want to check if the stream's still monetized, or whether they've gone, haha, you've played 3 seconds of our content claimed. Hopefully they haven't, but we will see. Yeah, so someone let me know, or I'll probably straight up having a look, won't I? I think it was 11th Doctor, and they made a Jedward reference. Is it that long ago? Let's double check, shall we? So we'll just go through. We'll go back in time. Where is it? I had a Google page open. I'll just make a new one. Right. Doctor Who comic relief. So we've established that they didn't really do much in 2018. Was that 2018, the thing we just watched? That was 2019. So Doctor Who comic relief 2018? I don't think they did anything. Because... Oh, that was a comic contract. Like, yeah, no, they didn't do anything for 2018. I assume that's just because it was the transitional year. 2017. We had this.
Now, and Warwick, you are working... No.
I don't wanted to see the whole thing. So I think it's just them talking about Series 10, and did we get a trailer for Series 10 in 2017? Maybe we did. I don't know. But that's all we got for 2017. 2016. Ah, right. That was Children in Need. The thing I thought it was Children in Need, the little switchboard thing. Yeah, that was Children in Need.
Hello?
This.
Is Pudsey there?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, no, that's Children in Need. Okay, I wasn't sure whether that was Comic Relief or Children in Need. So they didn't do anything for 2016. We're really going back. 2015. Didn't really get anything. 2014. Yeah, no, we didn't get anything in 2014 either. God, we're actually really going really far back. 2013. Call the Midwife, One Born Every Minute. Oh yeah, that was the weird one with Matt Smith where he hits on like a nun. That was weird. Alright, so the last one was 2013. Which is interesting.
Right.
Which is right at the end, probably. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, nuns and midwives, smashing. Oh yes, Evangelina. Since when did you become a nun? You know, I will never forget 1934. You saucy minx.
That was weird. So yeah, that was the last one we got. It was 2013. What do you want in Series 13? That's a good question. Something I haven't really thought about too much actually. I'd like a lot more off-world stories. I don't think it'll happen. But I'd like some more space stories. But I think with COVID and stuff, and with the fact that we've seen so many Earth pictures, I don't think that's happening. I'd like the Doctor and Yaz to get most of the focus because I really think they need it. Yes, Saucy Minx. That was maybe not the finest moment for good old 11 there. Saucy Minx. Oh god, have I started a meme? Oh no, I didn't want that. I'd like to see the return of pure historicals. See, the thing is, a lot of the Series 11 episodes might as well have just been pure historicals, but I didn't think they were that good. So, yeah, like, because the Rosa, if you get rid of Krasko, it's basically just a pure historical, and I don't think it's great. Same goes for Witchfinders. If you get rid of the Morax, it's basically just, you are a woman and a witch, die. I'm actually not big on that idea personally, but I understand why people are, because it's like some of the 60s pure historicals are quite beloved, but I'm just not into that. Power Rangers has had scenes filmed in quarries representing alien planets, and that show is on a low budget. Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't quite get the whole it's low budget therefore we can't go to space argument. Is because, like, we've used quarries before. A lot before actually. So I don't really get what the problem is. I just, obviously, as we've seen, actually, let's see if I can get the Series 13. Weeping Angels. Yeah, so this... Oh look, it's my thumbnail. Anyway, this is on Earth. Wait, can we go a bit closer? There we are. This is on Earth. The Weeping Angel episode, because it's by like an ocean, and we've also seen them by like a house here as well. So that's taking place on Earth. Sontarans. Yeah, so the Sontaran episode, that's also taking place on Earth from what we've seen. So yeah, there's already a lot of focus on Earth. I've done an entire video on that. If you haven't seen that, I'd suggest you go check it out. In fact, I can actually put a link in the chat. If you haven't already watched that, I do suggest it. Where is it? There it is. I just got some food, thank you.
Hello, friends from Wheelchair Gang.
Oop, I don't wanna
here.
play
In
it.
today's video,
But yeah, I'll send that in the chat. And I think I'm going to end it there. But thank you all for checking out the stream. Be sure to give it a like if you haven't already. And thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.